Yeah, so welcome traders. Hope you're having a fantastic week wherever you are. Hope you had a really amazing week wherever you are. My team and I, we had a really fantastic week over the past week, so hope yours was fine as well. So without wasting much of your time, I would like to jump straight onto the business that had brought me here. I would like to teach you guys how to accurately draw support and resistance levels effectively. So I'm going to be teaching you guys a simple yet effective technique that I have been using to draw support and resistance over the past 5 years. So make sure to watch this video till the end in order to get as much value as possible, and also don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share so that this video may reach and provide value to as many people as possible. So without any further ado, let's get straight into the video. So how to accurately draw support and resistance levels. So before we jump into how to draw these levels correctly, first and foremost, it is very important for us to actually identify what a zone is. So what is a zone? A zone is an area on the chart with multiple price rejections. It is simply an area on the chart where price has bounced off from repeatedly. So what do I mean by this? So this is the Euro USD daily chart. So on this chart, you can see these areas that I'm talking about. So at this point right here, this area right here, you can clearly see that there are multiple bounces from this area. So at this point, price came up and bounced to the downside from that area. It broke again, came back and bounced to the upside, broke down, came back and bounced to the downside, bounced to the downside at this point, bounced to the downside at this point. At this area also came, bounced to the downside and bounced to the downside. Okay, so that's our first area. Our second area right here, so price came, bounced to the upside, broke, came, bounced to the downside, bounced to the upside at this point, bounced to the upside at this point. Okay, so this is our third area right here. Price bounced to the upside, bounced to the upside, bounce to the upside and also bounce to the upside right here. Let us move on to another example so that you guys can digest this information properly. So this is the Euro NZD daily time frame chart. So let us just do the same process again. So this area right here, price came, bounced to the downside at this point, bounced to the downside at this point, and also bounced to the downside at this point, and also this point, and also this point. This second area right here, price broke, bounced to the upside at this point, bounced to the upside at this point, downside, upside and upside. This third area right here, price bounced to the upside at this point, bounced to the upside at this point, bounced to the downside at this point, and also bounced to the downside at this point. So that's what I mean by saying that a zone is an area on the chart with multiple price rejections, and just as we have seen at these areas, price has come, bounced to the upside or to the downside. So that's what I mean by saying that it's an area on a chart with multiple price rejections. Okay, now we have talked about zones. Now it's time to go ahead and talk about support and resistance zones. So we are going to go ahead and start by talking about support zones. So what is a support zone? A support zone is simply a zone that is below current price and traders look to buy on these particular zones. So what do I mean by this? So let's go ahead and look at this example. So this is the Euro NZD 15-minute chart. So right now current price is at this point right here. So just as I have said, a support zone is a zone that is below current price. So that means that all the zones that are below this level right here, and this level it can be marked by this red line that goes across like this. Yeah, so all the zones that are below this level right here, this red line right here, this is where current price is. All the levels that are below that particular area, that are below current price, they are support zones. Okay, so this is just a zone like any other zone. Like you can see, this is the first touch, this is the second touch, this is the third touch, and also on this last zone right here we have this touch and we also have this touch. So that's what I mean. So let us go ahead and look at this other example. So these are other support zones. So current prices at this point. Okay, so this qualifies to be this is just a zone like any other zone, and it qualifies to be a support zone simply because price isn't below the zone. This is also another zone right here. Since it's below current price, it qualifies as a support zone. So that's what a support, those are what support zones are. So let us go ahead and jump onto resistance zones. So a resistance zone, what is a resistance zone? A resistance zone is simply the opposite of what a support zone is. It is a zone that is above, instead of being below, it's a zone that is above current price. Okay, and traders look to sell on this particular zone. So let us go on to example. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So right now on this chart, this is the NZD CHF 15-minute chart. So current price, this is where current price is. So just as I have said, resistance zone is a zone that is above current price. So this zone qualifies to be a resistance zone. This zone also qualifies to be a resistance zones, and these are the areas where traders look look for selling opportunities. Let us go to the next example. This is the Euro CHF 1 hour chart. So current price is here. This is a zone that is above the current price, and this is also another zone that is above current price. So both of them qualify to be resistance zones, and those are the zones where you should be looking for your selling opportunities. So now we have talked about zones, we have talked about support zones, and we have talked about resistance zones. Now it's time to jump onto the nitty-gritty part of it, and that is how to accurately draw support and resistance zones. So in order to accurately draw support and resistance zones, we need to go through some simple steps in order to actually achieve what we want to do. So the simple steps that I'm talking about include the following. Number 1, identify a currency pair. Number 2, switch on to the line charts. I'm going to demonstrate this in just a few. Let me just mention them. Then you can go straight ahead and dive onto the live charts. So identify a currency pair, switch to the line charts, then find areas with multiple price touches. Okay, so let us go ahead and dive onto the live charts, and then let's see what I'm talking about. So we have this. This is the first step, identifying a currency pair. I have identified the AUD NZD 1 hour chart. So the second step is to switch to the line chart. So as you can see, this is the candlestick chart. So in order to switch to the line chart, what you need to do is just click on this Dropbox button which says buyer style, then select line. Just click on line. So now as you can see, we are now on the line charts, right? So we are done with the second step. So let us move on to the third step. The third step is to identify areas on the chart with multiple touches. So in order to do that, what you need to do is just select this tool right here. It's known as the horizontal line. Select it and just place it on the chart. So what we're going to do is we are going to use this horizontal line to find the multiple touches, and we are going to start from the top, moving to the bottom. Okay, so now let me just click on it, and then let's start at the top. So let us just move down slowly by slowly. Yeah, right here we have multiple touches at this area. So as you can see, we have this area right here, we have this area right here, this area right here, this area, and this area. Okay, so this qualifies as a zone because it has multiple touches, right? So after that, select the horizontal line once again, and then repeat the same process. So we're just gonna move down, trying to identify those areas with the multiple touches. Okay, right, this is an area right here. So as you can see right here, that was the first touch, second touch, third touch, fourth touch, fifth touch, sixth touch, seventh, eighth, and this is this ninth touch. Yeah, so this qualifies as a zone. It has multiple touches. Okay, so repeat the same process again. Select the horizontal line, and then just move downwards. Just move down. Yeah, I think this qualifies as a zone. So because you have this multiple touches right here, this touch right here, this touch right here, this touch right here, it pulled back. We also have these touches right here, so that one also qualifies as a zone. So let us try and identify at least one more zone at the bottom right here. So we're just gonna put the line chart, the horizontal line, and then let us just continue with what. Yeah, so this area qualifies as a zone. We have this touch right here, this touch right here, this touch right here, and this touch right there. I can also see another zone at the bottom, this zone right here. We have this touch right here, second, third, and fourth. So these are the zones that are on this chart. So after placing the horizontal line on the zones, just go ahead, go back to the candlestick chart, select candles. Now the zones are clearly visible. So these are the zones on this chart. So what you need to do is just select the rectangle and just draw the zones on the horizontal lines. Okay, select it, draw the zone. Yeah, so that's how you accurately draw support and resistance lines. So let us just go ahead and finish up marking these zones. Yeah, so these are the zones that I'm actually talking about. So that is how you accurately pinpoint the support and resistance zones. And as you can see, just as I had mentioned earlier, the zones that are below current price are resistance zones, and the zones that are above current price are just as I had mentioned earlier, the zones that are below current price are support zones, and the zones that are above current price are resistance zones. So traders, you should be looking for selling opportunities on resistance zones. So this zone right here, and it's a resistance zone because it's above current price, and all these other zones at the bottom right here are support zones because they are below current price, and you should be looking to buy at these areas. Okay, so let us go ahead and look at another example. I'm gonna select AUDCHF. Yeah, so we're just going to repeat the same process again. So just as we had done earlier, we're going to switch to the line chart. After we have switched to the line chart, we go ahead and try to identify areas on the chart with multiple touches. So we place it right there. So just the same process, just scrolling from the top to the bottom, trying to pinpoint those areas with multiple touches. So this right here is a zone. This is definitely a zone. We have this touch right here, this touch right here, these touches right here, this one right here, this one, this one, this one, this one. So those are the touches. So that qualifies as a zone. So we go ahead and try to find other zones. So this is another zone right here. We have this touch right here, this one, and this one. So that definitely qualifies as a zone. We continue. This is definitely a zone because we have this touch right there, that one, and that one. So that is our third zone. So let us go ahead and see if we can find another zone at the bottom right here. This is definitely a zone. We have this touch right there, that touch, that one, we have this one, and we also have this one. So that is our final zone. So let us go ahead and switch on to the candlestick chart. So these are our zones. Let us go ahead and draw them. Yeah, so those are our zones, and on this chart all the zones are apparently all the zones are resistance zones because they are above current price.
so you should be looking to sell on these particular zones. So that is how you draw support and resistance zones. So let us go ahead and look at the final example. We're gonna go for Euro NZD, Euro AUD, Euro AUD. So let us just repeat the same process again. So step 1, identify our currency pair. We have already identified our currency pair. It's the Euro AUD 1 hour chart. The next step, switch onto the line chart. There we go, we have switched onto the line chart. Then the third step, identify areas on the chart with multiple touches. So let us go ahead and pick our tool and just start. So this area right here is already this is the first zone right here, because we have this touch and this touch right there, so that definitely qualifies as a zone. So we're gonna go ahead and look for other zones. This is definitely another zone right here, because we have this touch, we have that touch, and we also have that touch, so that is definitely a zone. On to the next zone. This is definitely a zone right here. Why? We have that touch, that touch, that touch, that touch, and that touch, so that is definitely a zone. The next zone, right there we have a zone. We have this touch right here, that touch, that touch, that touch, and this touch right there, so that is definitely a zone. So I think we also have another zone in the middle right here. So this zone right here, though it's not that clear, but let's just try and make it a little bit. Yeah, so this is definitely a zone. So we have this touch right there, that touch right there, that touch right there, that one, that one, and that one. So that definitely qualifies as a zone. And now we can go ahead and switch on to the candlestick, and there we go. So these are our zones. Let me just quickly go and mark them really quick. So there we go. There we have our zones. So this is a resistance zone because it's above current price, and all these other zones at the bottom right here, they are support zones because they are below current price. So there we go. That is how to accurately pinpoint support and resistance zones. Okay, now that we are done with how to accurately draw support and resistance zones, I want to talk about a common confusion that normally occurs, especially for beginners. So you find that beginners, what they do is that they would start with the daily time frame, draw the support and resistance zones on the daily time frame, then go to the 4 hour, draw the support and resistance zones on the 4 hour, 1 hour, draw the support and resistance zones on the 1 hour, 15 minutes or 30 minutes, draw the support and resistance on that particular time frame. So you find that when you draw support and resistance zones on all of these time frames, your chart ends up becoming really crowded, to the point that it ends up getting really crowded by support and resistance zone, to the point that even if you find an entry, you wouldn't know exactly where to target, because there are just so many support and resistance zones. Normally when traders draw support and resistance zones, once they find an entry, normally they target the next zone. But when you find yourself in that type of situation where you have drawn so many support and resistance zones, starting from the daily time frame going all the way to the 15-minute time frame, you find that there are going to be so many zones, to the point that even when you are targeting the next zone, your risk to reward is not going to be that favorable. So let me just demonstrate that on the chart. So let me just go ahead and pick random. Let's pick NZD JPY. Yeah, so there we go. So let us just start with the daily time frame. Yeah, so let us quickly draw them. So let us switch on to the line chart and then draw the areas. So let me just go and pick the rectangle. So we have that zone right there. We also have this zone right here. We have this touch, on this top zone we have this touch, that touch, and these multiple touches right there. This is also another zone right here. So we have this touch right there, and we also have this touch right there. Okay, so we have drawn, this is the daily time frame, right? So after drawing the zones on the daily time frame, let's go ahead and move on to the 4-hour time frame. So you notice that when you go to the lower time frame, you're going to find zones that you wouldn't have seen on the higher time frame. So for example, in this chart right here, this is the 4-hour. So the 3 are the daily zones. So let us go ahead and draw the zones on the 4-hour chart. So switch to the line chart. So the reason as to why I'm not picking the horizontal tool, because you know, I've been doing this for a really long time, so my eyes are really experienced, and I'm so experienced to the point that I can just look at the chart and see them directly without having to use the horizontal line. So you're going to like get to this point, but it's gonna take some time. You're gonna need to practice a lot in order to see them the way I see them. So we have that zone, we have these touches right here. No, let me just adjust it a little bit. Yeah, so I think that's gonna be. So we have that touch, we have that touch, and here you can see, as you can see, price is struggling to break through. So that's definitely a zone. Just zoom out. Sorry. I don't see any other zone. Yeah, this is also another zone right here. So we have, okay, let me just draw it first. So we have these multiple touches right here. We have this touch right here. We have this touch. We have this touch. We have this touch, and we also have that touch. So I don't see any other resistance, support and resistance zones. So let us go ahead and go on to the lower time frame and see if we can pinpoint the support and resistance zones on this particular time frame. So on this time frame, we can clearly see this zone right here. So we have this touch right here, that touch, this touch, this touch too, and also this touch over here. So those are the support and resistance. So I don't think there are any other zones. So this is what I'm talking about. There are so many support and resistance zones on this particular time frame, to the point that when you find an entry, you wouldn't know where to place your target. So let's say, where is current price right now? So current price is, this is where price is, right? So this is a support zone. It's below price, this zone right here. So let's say you're looking for your entry right there. So let's say you're going to be looking for your entry right there, maybe stop loss just below, and the next zone, let's say you're going to be looking for a buy from here. Traders normally look to target the next zone, right? So the next zone from that area is right there. So as you can see, this is the pretty really bad risk to reward. It's just 1 to 1.37 risk reward ratio. So this is not a favorable risk reward ratio. A favorable risk reward ratio is at least a 1 to 2, and this is a 1 to 1.37. So it's not a really good risk reward ratio. So this is the situation that beginners normally find themselves in. So when you find yourself in such situations, the best thing to do is just to stick to one particular time frame. Okay, if you want, you just pick the time frame that you prefer most. If you want to trade the daily time frame, just draw and trade from the results of the daily time frame. If you want to use the 4-hour chart, just draw the zones on the 4-hour chart and trade off of those zones. If you want to trade the 1-hour chart, draw the zones on the 1-hour chart and trade only on those 1-hour chart zones. Don't draw the zones from the daily, 4-hour and 1-hour then trade, okay? Because you're gonna end up in this situation that I'm talking about, poor risk rewards. Okay, so just pick a particular time frame that is favorable for you, draw the support and resistance zones on that particular chart, and just focus on those zones. Okay, so I think that I'm done with that. So guys, that is how you draw support and resistance zones. So that is how you draw it. You draw them with deadly accuracy, because as you can see, by using the line chart, you get to see the closing points of the candlestick. I don't want to dive deep in that. That's a little bit more advanced, but just know that once you draw them using the line chart, you are pinpointing the turning points with deadly accuracy. Okay, and that increases the probability of your trades working out. So now that you are done with that, you can go through this video over and over again, of course, watch it, and also go and practice it until you become a pro. Trust me, when you practice doing this in like 2 weeks, trust me, you're going to be a pro after that. Okay, so just practice as much as you can. Practice, because practice definitely makes perfect. Okay, so that brings me to the end of the video. And in case you haven't watched my previous video, my previous video is about the reasons why most Kenyan forex traders fail. So it's a really informative video, especially if you are really finding it difficult to be profitable in the market. So just go, I'll link it in the description below. Okay, so on this video right here, this is just a tip of the iceberg. We have only learned how to draw support and resistance zones. So there are other things that you need to learn, such as stop loss levels and also take profit levels. Okay, so make sure to subscribe, like, comment and share, and also don't forget to turn the post notification button on in case I spot another video. So I'm going to be uploading a video concerning the entry, stop loss and take profit levels on my next video, so watch out for it. Okay, so that brings me to the end of the video. So go through this video over and over again. In case you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask in the comment section. Okay, yeah, so have a nice time and have a good life. See you in the next video.